Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Sheikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what do we have on tap for you today, folks? Well, it's a video clip of CNN, and it's with Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, and Jim. It's all about Mia Costa, and it's about Michael Cohen's predictions that Donald Trump's going to get indicted. He's not going to be running for the nomination for presidency. He's going to get indicted in New York City for for tax fraud and whatever. All those predictions, none of them came true. We're going to do the video clip, give our reaction to it. We're going to go to that right now. So in this first part of the interview, what we're going to see is that Jim Acosta is going to ask the burning question that everybody at CNN and MSNBC and all these alphabet networks, they love to ask: is Trump ever going to get indicted? Is he ever going to be convicted? Is he ever going to go to jail? Please, Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, please tell us your answer. We're just awaiting. We're going to do that, folks. But before we do, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Put your comments below. Let's see the answer to the burning question CNN wants to hear.
With Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen. He's the author of Revenge, How Donald Trump Weaponized the U.S. Department of Justice Against His Critics, and the host of the podcast, Mea Culpa, Nothing But the Truth. Michael, great to see you back. Much appreciated, as always. I think I've asked you this question 100,000 times, but I'm going to ask it again.
He's asked 100,000 times before. Michael, the lying loser Cohen, has answered it 100,000 times before. Every one of those times has been completely wrong. Every single time is going to completely be wrong. And this is the question that everybody's been asking, and all the pundits come out and have said absolutely yes, indicted, convicted, jailed, won't be running, won't be doing this, won't be doing that. And they've been wrong on everything. Let's hear Michael Cohen's answer.
Do you think Trump will ever face justice on this issue or any of these other issues?
So the answer to that is yes. In fact, I believe of all of the litigation that's currently plaguing the former president, I believe that this one with the Justice Department, the one regarding the Mar-a-Lago raid, is by far the most serious. And I also believe that it is the easiest for DOJ to prove. Look, let's just run through it real quick. Over a year and a half.
It's the easiest to prove for DOJ, right? Hey, Michael, how's that prediction turning out? By the way, what do you think about Biden? Do you think that Biden's going to be indicted now too? Do you think that he's going to be convicted of classified documents? Boy, were you freaking wrong on this one, Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen. Unbelievably wrong. Let's continue to hear how wrong you were.
A half ago, they requested the document return. He turned around and said, no, we don't have any. Turns out he had. Then they give some back. Then they turn around and they get a justice to sign off on a warrant. They execute. They get more documents back. He then has an attorney signed an affidavit stating everything has been returned. And now we find even additional documents that were being stored in I should say, a storage facility in West Palm Beach. I mean, this is absolutely against the rules. It's against the law. NARA had done everything that they could.
Sort of like Biden storing classified documents, right, in the garage and in the trunk of his Corvette, right? Is it sort of like that? These were locked up in storage facilities. And as I said before, he's the president of the United States. He can do whatever the hell he wants with classified documents. He can declassify them. He can have them. All right? As far as I'm concerned, he did nothing against the law. Nothing at all. Everything was locked up. Everything was secure, unlike what happened with Biden.
To implore him to return what's not his. He didn't do it. And at the end of the day, I think this is by far the easiest case to prove. And it also carries a criminal consequence.
So there we go, a criminal consequence. Wow. Geez, I wonder what criminal consequence happened to President Trump on this here. Now, do I believe that, the kangaroo courts within the justice system, the kangaroo courts, within the halls of the deep state Could they still turn around and do something? Hey, folks, these people want to go after Trump. They'll indict a ham sandwich, as they basically say. They want to get President Trump by any means necessary. So, is it possible within the realm of possibility? Oh, absolutely it is. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think it will. But Michael Cohen here said this was by far a slam dunk, the easiest thing in the world, no problemos. Well, we found out that wasn't. Let's go to the next the next clip, and we'll do that right now. Now, in this clip, Jim Acosta, he asked Michael Cohen, what do you think about Trump and his companies in New York being, in terms of, being convicted of tax fraud? How do you think that's going to, play out? And do you think that's going to hurt him politically or personally? What's going to happen now that some companies within the Trump organization have been basically said that there was tax fraud, that was done? Let's hear the answer to that.
And Michael, the other thing that happened this week, a Manhattan jury found 2 Trump Organization companies guilty on multiple charges of criminal tax fraud and falsifying records. How big of a blow was this to his company, a company that you spent some time around?
This is a very big issue, and good for the jury that they were able to come back and hold the company accountable for all of the criminal matters that they had been charged with. The problem that I see here is it's very difficult to indict a company and hold a company accountable, right? You can't. It's an INC, it's a piece of paper. What about the name, the eponymous company? What about its president and CEO? Why is Donald not being held accountable? And despite the fact that Alan Weisselberg was warned, and sternly at that if he lies and does not cooperate fully with the district attorney's case, then he could potentially be looking at a very significant sentence. Nevertheless, Alan Weisselberg did not tell the truth. He did not acknowledge that Donald Trump knew every single thing that was going on. In fact, he fell on the sword and threw Jeff McConney onto the sword as well. I certainly hope that Alvin Bragg, as they're going through this case now, and as they are potentially bringing additional cases against Donald himself personally, I understand that they're looking at that. I do hope that they do it. And if they have any questions, they can certainly reach out to me, and we'll just add to the 13 times that I've already spoken to them.
Right. I know you've been busy in that regard. Let me ask you this.
Now, as far as this happening, what Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, basically said was that it is hard to indict or go after, a company, INC, LLC, or whatever. And so what's going to happen? Here's a fact, folks. Unless you can find evidence, and I mean direct evidence, that can show or prove that somebody at the top, the CEO of the organization, in this case Donald Trump, actually told attorneys, lawyers, tax attorneys, accountants, CPAs, whatever it was, to go ahead and commit fraud, to do illegal things in terms of illegal accounting, illegal bookkeeping, whatever it was, that he actually ordered it and told them to do that. If you don't find that evidence directly linking Trump to that, nothing's going to happen. There, as I said before, you have attorneys, tax attorneys, CPAs, accountants, other, management people, executives that are hired to do the bookkeeping, to do the taxes, to keep up to the paperwork, to submit all the documents, to make sure. So if there's something wrong inside there and somebody was doing something, you can prove it. Guess what? It's going to go about those people that have signed their names to those documents, and now you have to pursue those people. That's what's going to happen. As far as Trump being involved, yes, it looks bad because you could say the buck stops with the guy at the top. But then again, when you do find something like that happening, you get rid of those people, and you pay whatever fines are necessary and you move on. But as far as Trump being involved in this thing or having anything to do with this or this hurting him politically, it's not going to. Hey folks, remember they were talking about the Trump taxes? They had that dump. all of his taxes were done. Have you heard anything, folks? Anything at all about Trump's taxes? Anything? Nothing. And you know they went through those with a fine tooth comb. They couldn't find a damn thing over there. So we're going to go to the next part of the clip. We're going to go to that right now. In this next segment of the clip, this is where Jim, it's all about me, Acosta, asked Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, the $1 million question. What do you think? Is Trump actually going to run? Is he going to be in the primary? Is he going to run for the presidency? What are your thoughts? Let's hear the prognosticator, the lying lawyer, give his answer.
Not the launch that Trump had in 2016. I mean, this is just exploding on the launch pad.
Well, look, everybody's saying to me, oh, Michael, you have made claims that you don't believe Donald Trump is going to run, and you've been right on so many things. How could you be wrong about this one? Well,
you've been right on so many things before. You heard that. Did my ears deceive me? I might have to rewind that just to make sure that I heard that correctly. Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, actually said that people have said, Michael, you've been right on so many things before. How can you be so sure that he's not going to run again? Folks, I got to hear that again because you know what? I might have had a bunch of wax in my ears. Okay, maybe we didn't hear that properly. Let's hear that again and see if that's exactly what Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, said.
And it's certainly not the launch that Trump had in 2016. I mean, this is just exploding on the launch pad.
Well, look, everybody's saying to me, oh, Michael, you have made claims that you don't believe Donald Trump is going to run, and you've been right on so many things. How could you be wrong about this one? Well, I don't believe yet that I'm wrong. In fact, all he's done, and Jim, you can talk about this probably better than I. All he's done is file a single piece of paper making an announcement that he's intending, that he's running for the presidency of the United States as a Republican, and he's looking for the nomination. Okay, who's his campaign manager? Who's his finance director? Who's his press secretary? Who's his scheduler? Where's his staff? There is none.
I'll tell you who his press secretary is. It's Donald J. Trump. I'll tell you who his financial director is. It's Donald J. Trump. I'll tell you who his scheduler is. It's Donald J. Trump. I'll tell you who his advertiser is. It's Donald J. Trump. I'll tell you who his press secretary. I'll tell you all of them. Everybody, it's Donald J. Trump. That's who it is, folks. Period. Remember during his presidency when he came to the podium during the press briefings and he said, hey, go ahead, sit down. I'll handle this. All right. He doesn't need any. I mean, he needs a staff, obviously. But you know what? He could be doing all those things himself as well, too. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about there, Michael. But anyways, let's continue.
And you know why there isn't any? Because he's going to use that announcement to continue the big grift, the great grift of Donald, right? And more people are going to continue to send in more money under the guise that he's going to run. And at the end of the day, I don't believe he's going to run. And also, I don't believe he's going to be able to run with all of the litigation and the sedition that he has committed against this country. I don't believe he's going to be able to run.
All right, Michael Cohen, we're going to circle back on that prediction. You may be onto something there, my friend. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, Michael, my friend. You know, you may be onto something there. We're going to circle back and see how that prediction went through. From your lips to God's ears, right? I don't think so. It's probably from his lips to Satan's ears, maybe, for Michael, the lying lawyer Cohen, and Jim, it's all about me, Acosta. But these guys gleefully ask these questions, and they just love it when they're their guests just regurgitate and the verbal diarrhea, which comes back, which they just love to hear. And you heard it here basically. Okay, did they circle back? Of course they didn't circle back to this thing. You know, they're not going to circle back to stupidity and idiocy, but we did. That's what we do here at the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And I'll give you my final thought, which is when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.